What's up, sports world? You're tuned in to GrindWorks Podcast, and I'm D-Lo with my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach D.
And today we've got a special guest, Domaunique Stephens, owner of OKC Fadeaway Hoops, program director at Legyns. Thanks for coming to the podcast, bro.
Appreciate you.
I'm somewhere always grinding, putting God first. That master plan is manifested in the mind first. No taking days off, cause that ain't how my mind works. We out the mud, cause that's the way the grind works.
Well, thanks for coming, Domaunique, man. A lot of people don't know we're really cousins, man. And we started this process a long time ago, man. So one of the first things that I know, but I want everybody to know, man, what got you in coaching, man?
Man, so a lot of people don't know, but when I was growing up, we wasn't financially, we were good, but, we had a lot of obstacles, if that makes sense. And so, man, I had a coach in the neighborhood, Dwayne Tilley, just was in his Matt Tilley's wedding yesterday, matter of fact.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, so he, me and his son used to play all the time, and man, he's the one that got me start playing basketball, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And for me, being a kid, like, I didn't really realize the things he was doing for me, if that makes sense. I didn't realize till I got older, but I'm talking about basketball, baseball, like whatever it was. Like, I was traveling with him. I was staying with him.
Wow.
Never asked me for a dime. Never asked my mom for a dime. I was at his house. I would eat his food like it was my house, if that makes sense. So, anyways, make a long story short, man. So, for me, when I first started coaching, it was really to give back.
Okay.
Like, it was really to help out the next kid that maybe didn't have a great support system.
Yeah.
And just really try to pour into them like somebody poured into me. So
That's dope.
So at about what age would you say you felt the calling on your life to get into coaching? Did you kind of know that early on? Because I know for me, when I was in college, my college coach told me that I was going to be a coach. And I fought against that as much as I could. But I kept feeling that tug. So was that something I've heard coaches say, oh, I knew in high school, that this is what I wanted to do? Or was that a little later on for you?
Man, I would honestly say I didn't understand it, but it probably when I was a kid.
What age we talking? If you got to keep a ball?
Probably 12, 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Very right.
when I was young, man, I was like really good in football, basketball, baseball.
Good.
But like I was always that kid that like when we played pickup, I would always pick up like the sorriest kid. That makes sense. And I always wanted them to be a part and feel to be a part of like what was going on, if that makes sense. But at an early age, Denzel will tell you like, man, I knew basketball, like I knew everybody's rosters. Football, I knew I could tell you the depth chart. So like I really understood the game early on, if that makes sense. And like when I coach now, when I talk to kids, like I was one of those kids that knew what everybody was doing. If that makes sense. Whatever play we ran, I knew what everybody was supposed to do. The time in between and everything like that. So when I think about it, honestly, it's probably when I was a kid. Like I was thinking like a coach when I was playing early on, if that makes sense. So and I've always, when I watch sports, like I've always looked at it from a coach's perspective. That makes sense.
Absolutely. I relate 100%.
Okay, so when you, I know it all started with franchise, right?
Yeah.
So, because I don't know, a lot of people know, man, this is the founder of franchise, OKC franchise, the Legyns. We beat on a lot of teams across the country, man.
You go.
But, hey, man, I just had to throw it out there so y'all know, man, it's all facts. But the question is, man, so how did the transition from franchise and Trae Young even start, even the process, how that even happened?
And I'll be honest with you, man. I had a conversation with Gary Vick one day.
Okay.
You say franchise to the at the time Trae Young.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Gary Vick one day, man. Me and Gary, I would probably say Gary's like a mentor of mine when it comes to his basketball stuff. Like always, anything that I do, like if I'm in sales or whatever job I'm doing, like I always try to figure out what like the person doing well, like what do they do well that makes them successful? So like I used to pick Gary Vick's brain. Like it's funny now because since I still throw tournaments, I have an opportunity to like talk to these coaches coming up that's doing a lot of stuff that we did, man, traveling across the country, talking about they ranked number 7 in the nation and all this stuff. And so, man, I try to tell them that stuff is fun, right? Like more than anything, it's competitive, it's fun. But like I try to get them to understand the importance of what they're trying to do and how to get there, if that makes sense. So like Gary was the first one to kind of, when I say put me on game, he kind of put me on game on how all this stuff goes, like how to move in basketball, if that makes sense, right? And so at that time, and it's crazy because I talked to Rayford, you know, when Trey was coming up playing, he was with the Bulldogs and they was doing a lot of the same stuff. And so like when you're younger, you think, man, I'm gonna travel and go beat this team, I'm gonna beat this team, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get a deal. But like people don't understand, like a lot of this basketball stuff is about relationships. You know what I mean? It's really more about, I'm not gonna say it's about who you know, like people get stuff that they're not earned, but it's more about like the people you're around, and you gotta understand how to move like that, if that makes sense, right? And so that's really for me, I met with Ray and he was like, man, we'll be a 3SSB program in 2 years. Right. And at that time when Trae Young happened, we just had teams, right? Yeah, right. But I understood from talking to Gary and just doing, you know, just understanding how this stuff go. Like I understood that there was a better opportunity to get to do what we were trying to do, to travel around and trying to get it that way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so that's really, and so like, and then real quick before you get to the next question, like everybody know, man, like I'm proud of franchise. Like sometimes I look back and be like, man, I wish we still had it. But like, I understood that the emotional, like being emotional tied to that name, for me, wasn't the best thing for the kids for what we were trying to do, if that makes sense, right? Sure. So it was really more about me, like understanding, like it's not about me, and it's about the kids. Gotcha. That makes sense. It was a better situation. Yeah, try to, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that was actually kind of the point that I was going to touch on. You know, how do you go from building something like franchise and in the name that it had and stuff like that? Was that tough for you to pull away from that and say, okay, well, I'm going to acquiesce this over here so we can go pour into this over here because it can create better opportunities? Or was that?
It wasn't tough for me. It was really more tough for like the people that was with me, if that makes sense, right? Everybody know Kieran Leach, like that's my guy, if that makes sense. D'Angelo, like the people that, cause like what people don't understand about franchise, it wasn't really just me. Like we had a great team. Like we met every month. We had somebody that handled fundraising. Like we had a whole process in place. And so I never looked at it like it was me with franchise, if that makes sense. Like it's not a, like, it wouldn't have got to where it was with just being me, if that makes sense. And so it was a lot of people that people don't know that was involved behind the scenes, you know, that made it as successful as it was, if that makes sense. And so for me, I just know whenever you do something different and you're not, I'm not going to say in control, but you're not the one that's making all the decisions. I was more thinking about the people that was with me rather than just me, if that makes sense. Cause like, I felt like I owe that to them, if that makes sense what I'm saying. Because like, regardless of like what we're doing, I take pride in coaching people's kids and people giving me the opportunity to coach their kids. So like, I take pride in trying to teach the game the right way. And so for me, it was more about like making sure everybody was good. But like you learn as you get to more into stuff like this, things change, if that makes sense. So
okay, so I know Trae Young made another transition, got the Legyns now. Yeah. So how's that been going? How's that transition been going for everybody, man?
Man, I don't really do much on the boys' side anymore, so I can speak for on the girls' side. I mean, it's actually great. I think that, you know, we've got a lot of different people that's been with different programs, like Jesse Brown. Yeah, Jesse. You know, Jesse is, yeah, BTR. Jesse is as important as Legends as I am and everybody else, if that makes sense. Jesse, great coach.
Shout out to Jesse Brown.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse Brown, man. Great person, great coach. And me and Jesse's a lot alike. Like Jesse's truly about the kids, like, because regardless of everything, like, this is still for the kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, that's really the thing with the Legends, is like we try to bring people together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I talk about franchise or Jesse Brown with BTR, it's more about, like, let's get off the name, you know, the emotional tie that we had with the name, and, like, understand, like, we're trying to do this for the kids. And so, like, it's really just a group of guys that's really kind of come together, and we meet all the time. You know what I mean? We try to stay on the same page. You know, nothing's perfect. Nothing always goes everybody's way, if that makes sense. Like, there's things that happen that this person might not agree with, but, like, I feel like if we just stay together and talk about it, you know what I mean, and everybody kind of understand the purpose of what we're trying to do, like, those things just kind of happen sometimes. That makes sense. But it's been great, man. It's been fun, to be honest with you. So,
Okay.
Well, first of all, congratulations on, you know, everything that the Legyns are doing. That was Blake Griffin and Trae Young coming together, correct, forming an organization. Because I know a lot of people kind of didn't know what was going to happen when Trae Young sort of transitioned away from the 3SSB. So congrats to you guys for that. I saw you made an announcement a few weeks back, maybe a couple weeks ago, about y'all are officially an EYBL organization now. So tell me what that's been like. Obviously, I'm sure you're super excited about it. How's that transition been? And just, like, what are some things y'all looking forward to with competing on that circuit? Because it's the best circuit in the world.
yeah, man, it's been great. First of all, like, it's been busy, right? When something like that happens, man, I mean, you're getting hit up by people from Colorado and Arkansas and Canada.
Now, when you say hit up, are you meaning like the play or just
Players, yeah, like, it's parents, players reaching out, yeah. So for us, like I said, that's what the plan was, right? Just like when I said we went to Trae Young, and, you know, Rayford said, hey, we're gonna be a 3SSB program in 2 years. Like, nothing was ever guaranteed, as far as the EYBL, if that makes sense, right? But going back to the early conversation, like, relationships, right? We felt like if we did our part on the court, which we had a successful season, we did great. Our 16U team, which is Jesse coaches that team, and Rod Kindred, they won the EYCL.
Oh, boy.
They won the EYCL.
Okay.
And then the way it happened was they qualified for the play-in game to have a chance to play in Nike Nationals in the EYBL.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense. Yeah. And so the play-in game, man, they won by like 40 points, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, it was nice. And so And so that kind of opened the door for us, if that makes sense. And so they went to Nike Nationals, and it's crazy because now they're the bottom seed, you know what I mean? And so they're in the pool with the top seed, which was all Iowa Attack. And that was the first game coming out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lost that game by 2 points.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lost that game by 2 points.
Pretty good.
Yeah, lost that game by lost that game by 2 points. And so they had a chance to compete, kind of like how we did with the boys.
Okay.
We qualified, and they had a chance to compete on the EYBL side of Nike National, not EYCL, and they ended up going 3-2.
So, not to cut you off, can you kind of give us just a basic difference between EYBL and EYCL? Because we understand, but maybe people out there watching probably don't.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think they're both great. First of all, I just think that the opportunities are different, if that makes sense. The one thing that I try to explain to coaches or parents is that your EYBL, you're going to play in front of LSU, you know, OU, South Carolina, you know what I mean? And it's kind of cool because we got the younger kids at the junior EYBL, and everything's in the same gym, right? And so, yeah, in the same gym. Even EYCL's in the same gym. So the way they kind of got the setup is like the EYBL's in the middle of the gym, and the EYCL and junior EYBL is kind of like around it, if that makes sense, right? So like everybody's in the same gym with the coaches, and like sometimes like the junior EYBL is playing right next to the EYBL, like court over, if that makes sense. And so like the cool thing is like, man, you walk around the gym and, you know, you see Don Staley right there watching game. You know what I mean? And so like to me that's the biggest difference is like the EYBL, your opportunities is higher, if that makes sense. You're gonna have the opportunities, like I said, South Carolina, OU, whatever. We can go down the list, right?
Yeah.
And now there are kids on the EYCL that do go Division I. It's just, and like the way I could put it is, you're gonna have more opportunities on the EYBL, if that makes sense. So, and they call the EYCL now a Champions League. So, yeah.
Okay, so when you think about the organization, you said last year had some of the players, some of the ladies on the team that really went out there and showed and proved. Is there some of the girls on the team that you're looking forward to do something this year?
Yeah, I mean, we like Jesse's team, like we got a really good group. I would probably, the few that I would point out is Kalani Kendrick.
Okay.
She's at Newcastle.
Okay.
Amara King.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's and then Jordan Richardson as well. Those are probably the three kids I would say that that, you know, just from playing on the on that Nike National, like being able to play in front of those coaches, like got a lot of interest from a lot of coaches. And they're
Those young ladies playing at high school.
they're actually all at Newcastle.
They're all in Newcastle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we also got Tasia. She's at Anadarko. Well, I think she's actually just transferred schools, not in Newcastle though, but she just transferred school.
What does it say?
I forget exactly where she is, but yeah.
Ain't nobody in trouble.
Yeah. No. It's all, everything is all good. Yeah. But she's got interest from like low to mid major schools. So I mean, it's great, man. Like we're looking forward to next year. And like the thing is, what people don't know is that team was really a 15U team.
Oh, so they
Playing 16U, yeah. So we had 3 16U kids on that team last year, which is Rashaya, that's at PC North, Tasia, and then Demoye is at Tulsa.
So this coming spring and summer, what age group will that group be competing as?
They'll stay 16, but those 3 will be moving up to 17U.
Who's the 17U coach?
Roy Wyckoff. Yeah, Roy.
Okay.
So you coach boys and now you coach girls. I know what I feel like the biggest difference is. What would you say the biggest difference is? Because you obviously have a lot more experience with that than I do. I've never coached girls. So what would you say the biggest difference is between coaching boys versus coaching girls? And be brutally honest.
I would say attitudes, man. Attitudes. Yeah, attitudes. So girls will walk in the gym and you'll know they're not there. Like you can get here, you be like, man, she ain't here today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just tell by her. Just tell, yeah. I mean, girls they could have got yelled at on the way to practice and they just ruined their whole day. Or any. No, you do. No, that's 100% right. But I mean, it could cycle through the girls though. Like you might know some boys, but with the girls, like it could be a different kid every day, if that makes sense. But as far as coaching wise, like the girls listen more. Like they kind of stay on script. You know, the boys want to, you know, when that first read ain't there, they ready to get in their bag. You know, you know what I mean. And so with the girls, man, you gotta, like the word I like to use with them all the time is like, we're not robots. Like you want them to play basketball more instead of always, you know.
Robots. So are the girls more fundamentally sound, you think?
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be more fundamental. Yeah, they're more fundamentally sound. like I said, they're very coachable. They tend to go out there and do exactly what you tell them to do. Sometimes too much. Yeah, too much, if that makes sense. Boys, man, they just want to get to it. You know what I mean? And that's probably the biggest. But one thing I will say is I talk about our 25 group with Kai, Tristan, and Bubba, DJ. I don't think I ever had to question those kids' effort, like ever, if that makes sense. I mean, we like I'm talking about like ever, yeah. And so for me, that's why I have to understand, because that's why I compare all these other teams to. It's to that group. You know what I mean? That they just went in there and got after it. You know what I mean?
That 2025 group special on me.
And so that's the other thing with the girls is like sometimes, man, their effort is not where it needs to be, and it just like I'm a effort, play hard, like that's what we're gonna do first. You know what I mean? And so like that just bothers me whenever you got some kids in there that's just kind of going through the motion and stuff like that. So I can't relate. Yeah. So
Okay, man. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you recently started coaching at Deer Creek, right? So how was that move? Because I know I was supposed to be a PC North. I just thought it was a homecoming. We was about to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And then I get the call. Then they said about your cousin at Deer Creek. I said, oh man, what's going on with that, man?
Man, something different. If that makes sense, man. I've been at I coached at Cassidy for a couple years, which was great. But here recently, I've been at PC North and PCO. And, like, people don't know, but, like, I've lived in Deer Creek for 10 years. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so, for me, it was just different, man. It was a different – it was intriguing. And, like, I like being part of the process rather than when you get there, if that makes sense. Like, so what motivates me is the grind to be good, to get to that point, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, and like, nothing against – I love, like, I was there at PC North coaching on the boys side when Coach Martin first got there.
Yeah, right.
And I used to sit back and watch them play.
Yeah.
I used to be like, man, they like, you know what I mean? Like, as a coach, you could tell when a team is getting coached and they're improving. Like, it's not always on the score, but it's more about taking care of the basketball, understanding how to do little things. Like, you can see that stuff when you see a team play.
Yeah.
And, like, I was very fond of Coach Martin from that first year. I was like, man, she going to do a good job with these kids, if that makes sense. Yeah. But for me, with the Deer Creek situation, man, like, it was just more about, like, man, we actually got good kids that could play. And it's more about, like, let's figure it out how to get there. We went to area last year.
Yeah.
And the team last year was really built of a lot of sophomores, if that makes sense. And there was a freshman that was there that was a big part of the team. But, like, it was more looking at, like, where we could go to, if that makes sense. And I feel like, I'm confident in me as a coach myself. And so, like, I know what I can bring to a team, if that makes sense, and how I can, help out with that process. And so it was really more just wanting to be part of that process and that grind. Right. And, like, to me, I enjoy that more than, like, when you get there, that's when things start getting stressful. You know what I'm saying?
Those expectations kick up.
The notices kick in, yeah. So I just love just putting our head down and working and grinding and trying to develop that mentality of being tough and all that stuff.
So you didn't want to take the easy route, man. The easy route would have been go ahead and jump on that PC North bandwagon, man. Hey, because they stacked over there, man, this year, man. Hey, so
they got a very good chance to repeat.
Man, super stacked.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, I think boys and girls might both have the opportunity to win state this year, man, if you just want to ask me, man.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just what I'm seeing, man. I've been watching the practice, and Coach Martin been doing a good job, man. She been having work. She gets when you get the mecca to the concoction, man. You know what I'm saying? You start moving in different, like Coach said. You start making a difference and putting in the play how to be winners, man.
I think Coach Martin, like, one of her greatest strengths is, like, she don't really micromanage a lot, and so, like, from the and I'm not saying they're not structured and not disciplined, but I'm saying the brand of basketball she plays is very appealing to players, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
A lot of free.
Yeah. And she and it's like she's coaching them. You know what I mean? But like she's allowing them to play.
Play, man.
You know what I mean?
Coaches people that's it too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's very intriguing from you know. I mean, it is, you know. So, but no, they're gonna have a great year this year.
So I got sort of a 2-part question. I'll be the first to tell you I don't know a ton about the girl side. I've just gotten involved with it probably the last 3 years. Really started paying attention to it. So some of the names I'm not familiar with, but I was on a Twitter space. Maybe it was this past summer or maybe it was the summer before. And they were talking about, it had to be this past summer because that's when PC North girls won it.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people were chiming in saying that her state championship was a little watered down because she had transfers come in to win it. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree, disagree?
Well, I'm a say that's not true because she had a couple kids come in that I think took her team over the top. But if you look at the rest of their roster, man, they've been there since they were freshmen.
And they were solid anyway. I saw them at the PCI a couple years ago. And I was like, I can swing it.
But like the culture she built and the team, like the majority of those kids have been there forever, if that makes sense. Okay. But your question was more about transfers.
Yeah, just because people were saying, you know, I think, I don't want to say any names, but there was a coach that had won in a different class a year before, and she was like, you know, that I love what she did over there, but I just think her state championship has not necessarily an asterisk, but a lot of people are going to be like, because she had a couple transfers.
It's like everybody gets transfers every year, to be honest with you.
And see, this particular coach, and again, I won't say their name, but they won without transfers. So I think that was maybe a little subtle jab. I don't want to put words in people's mouth, but that's what it kind of felt like to me.
I mean, you can't, like, I'll just talk about Kiki, for example, at PC West, right?
Former Chaos Kid.
Yeah.
Hey, you can pop those. You can pop out her, man. Hey, she different, man, for real.
But I think if you look at Kiki's situation, like a lot of her teammates went to Grind Prep. She didn't want to go to Grind Prep, right? She stayed in the district. She's the Putnam City kid. That makes sense. So like, yeah, but like I don't think you can like say like you can't control who comes to your school, if that makes sense. And like I'll be honest with you, the brand of basketball she plays, she's gonna always have people interested in coming to PC North. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't put an asterisk next to it because, you know, she got a couple of transfers. The Brandy situation, I don't really know kind of how that whole. I mean, I know, and I'm trying not to like upset anybody, but I know Millwood had a lot of kids that left that school that year too. I think some went to Midwest City, if that makes sense. So,
hey, it's okay if you upset some people on this podcast. We do that a lot. But no, I agree with you because, and I've struggled with this because I have my thoughts on transfers as well. I think it is the climate of today, so you have to adapt or you'll get left behind. But I think what a lot of people probably don't take into account is even when you do have a lot of talent, a good coach still has to figure out how to manage those pieces. Like, I don't care how good of an X's and O's person you are. If you don't know how to manage egos, personalities, styles of play, and I'm sure you probably deal with a lot because you coach an EYBL program, so y'all got a ton of talent, I'm sure. So you have to figure out how to manage those and keep everybody happy to a degree.
I mean, you're absolutely correct. I mean, I think part of coaching is like you have to be able to manage all that stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Me personally, this might sound crazy to you because I got kids that's moved around and different things like that. But like, I'm all for the grind. Like, I would like for me, I would personally like figure it out, right? But from coaching, been behind closed doors, like I think it's good for parents to do what's best for their kids, to be honest with you. Because I've been at places around people where like I've seen kids coming to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, working out. Like I'm all about like if you want to play basketball, I'm gonna rock with you. Like I'm a you know what I mean. And so I've seen kids like that work hard, that's after practice, and like trust me, they'll never have a chance at that school. Like I'm not, man. Listen, I'm not trying to go deep into it, but like I've been around it, if that makes sense. And so like the person I am, like I really want to be like, hey man, you need to go do what's best for you, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But like it's tough for me to see a kid that like really wants to do this and really working at it, really working, and like will never have opportunity. When I say never, it's like I've been around places where like that stuff is figured out beforehand, if that makes sense.
So no matter what a kid, no matter how much sweat equity they put in, they'll never get a fair say.
And it's real. Like that's the political side of things that people don't understand. No, it's real. No, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And like, and so the person I am, I'm just like I hate it. Right? I'm an assistant coach, and my job is to support the head coach. But so like when you look at it like that, like I think it's okay for parents to do what's best for their kids personally, if that makes sense.
Now, as an assistant coach, if a parent came and talked to you, even though you knew it would be a detriment to your head coach and what they were doing, would you tell that parent, hey, there's probably some things already set in place that you can't control. It's probably best that you take your player and go do something else?
No, because I'm always support where I'm at. Like my job is to assist the head coach. I would encourage them to talk to the coach. Like I would definitely encourage that conversation, but I wouldn't go into specifics and details because that's not my job as an assistant coach, if that makes sense, right? But you know, I think when you're an assistant coach, I think where some people like our job is to like suggest and help, but like we don't make the final decision, so that makes sense. So it's really not a conversation for me to have, but I would encourage you to go talk to the head coach or whatever the process is, and you know what I mean, and try to see if you can figure something out. So
Okay, so man, I want to ask you, man. I know you, like I just said, you at Deer Creek now. So I want to, like, what's your yearly goal? What's the goal for this year, man? What you aiming to accomplish this year?
man, you know the expectations for anything I'm a part of is always high.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to state.
Okay.
I mean that's how I coach. Is to be the best we can be. And like I really think we have the potential in the kids to do that, if that makes sense. I think a lot of this comes down to like, man, I learned this from Jonathan Blewett from us coaching together. Like I think kids got to buy in to their roles, if that makes sense.
Yes, for sure.
Of how they can help the team out.
Yeah.
Not saying you're limited to just this.
Yeah.
But like if you think about it from a coach's perspective, like when you're on the floor, for us, you're on the floor for a reason.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I just say if we got a kid that's 6'3", right?
Yeah.
Part of the reason why you're on the floor is to do what? Rebound the basketball, right? You get what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So I think if we can get everybody to understand like what they do well,
Yeah.
and how they can help the team out, like I think we have a really good chance to go that far, if that makes sense. We've got a kid, Adriana.
Okay.
She's a Division I kid. She's getting recruited.
She a senior?
She's a junior.
Oh, junior. Okay.
Yeah, 6'3", shoot the basketball.
Okay.
One of the hardest working kids that I've been around. Yeah, no attitude. Yes, coach. No coach. Just get after it. And we've got her. Like our junior class is really good. Her, Jazz. I mess her name up all the time. DJ.
Okay.
Point guard. I just love DJ, man. She could just sit down and just get after it. Like the defensively, like she got a good frame. Like she's athletic. She could just sit down and really just do a lot defensively. But she's the leader of the team too.
Okay.
That makes sense. And we've got other kids there as well. Couple freshmen in mind, Peyton.
Okay.
That was Peyton Jones was at Grind Prep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. We expect for her to come in and have a big role. We got another freshman, Monty Carter, that I think is going to help us out a lot this year.
Okay.
And we've got several other juniors as well.
Okay.
That man, we got a chance, man. I mean, like, we should be solid.
So I thought it was them Newcastle and BC North that's deep, man. You playing off of some players that's gonna turn some head too, man.
I wouldn't say we that deep.
Yeah, that sounds like him too, man. He ready to, oh, we don't know the team players. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And then he pop out, and then pop out, be like ready. Okay, I see.
That's Domaunique style to down point.
See,
but can I elaborate on that real quick? I think with basketball, man, especially like today's, where we are today, when everybody's looking at highlights and all that stuff, I don't think kids understand like how to handle adversity, like how to fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when things aren't going the way that we practice for it to go, like if you do this is what's gonna happen, or whatever the case is. Like kids tend to give up and stop playing, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so like I think for us, really any team is like we gotta learn how to like compete when things aren't going well, if that makes sense, through adversity. And that's the thing that I know for me, that I'm trying to bring to the team, that I'm trying to preach, is just compete, keep fighting adversity, and just trying to do things the right way. And so,
yeah, I think you said that so well, because I know when I'm talking to my teams, man, and I say as coaches, we love to think that what we draw up is going to work to a T. But I try to tell them, those guys over there are scheming to stock that stuff. So we still have to compete through that. It's not that it's not working or it's not good stuff, but people are scheming to stop it. So we got to figure out a way to navigate through that. And so many kids can't. It's just like, if it doesn't go, like you said, exactly how we practice it, exactly how we draw it up, now they don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Now you start questioning the coach and questioning your team. It's like, no, man, it's a little adversity.
Sometimes they get defensive. Like sometimes they don't want to hold themselves accountable. That's kind of the biggest thing sometimes. It's like it's everybody else's fault on why you didn't do well. Like like get on the soapbox all day. But I mean but that's part of it though. Is like when things aren't going well, it's everybody else's fault. Instead of just holding yourself accountable, like what could you have done better? And I think if everybody do that, like it all works out. Like it get figured out. That makes sense.
Man, accountability is big, man.
So many people lacking.
Hey, man, I honestly think not being accountable, man, is a detriment to a lot of careers. You know what I'm saying?
To me, it's probably the worst thing that you can have is a lack of accountability. You know what I'm saying? Just because it encompasses so much, and a lot of people shy away from that, man. I tell my players all the time, I feel like, and it is different for different coaches, but I feel like in between the lines, I have 3 main jobs. Let's go. Now, outside of that, I have a lot.
Yeah.
But 1 is to be transparent with you. 2 is to put you in position to be successful. 3 is to hold you accountable. Yeah. And if I can't do that, if there's going to be pushback with that, it's tough for me to coach you.
Yeah. And that goes to what you just said. It's like, I know I even talk to my personal kids all the time. Like, man, be coachable. Like, you don't know everything. And that's part of being defensive. Like, well, I did this, and like I didn't even do nothing. Like, that's the kid's favorite. I didn't even do nothing. Like, man, what are we talking about?
I wouldn't be talking to you for nothing.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah. So like, and we can kind of, be quick about this. Coaching your daughter, what has that been like? And is she at Deer Creek with you or?
No, she's an 8th grader. Yeah, little young girl. Yeah.
What's that dynamic like? Because you coached your son too. What's the difference between coaching your son and your daughter? Is this the basic same between boy and girl?
I think the hardest part first is, which I got over this a long time ago with my son, but like, you're worried about what other people think. Like, are you trying to show your kid favoritism, if that makes sense, right? That's like the very first thing. Like, even when I talk to coaches now that coach their kids, and I tell them, like, man, if you know at your heart that you're doing the right thing, and that's the thing, first thing I tell parents is like, if I can talk to my daughter and be honest with her about stuff, like, why am I gonna sugarcoat it with your kid? Not saying in a bad way, but it's like it goes back to the I didn't do nothing and he's picking on, stuff like that, if that makes sense. But man, it's been interesting. It's interesting. I think from coaching my son, it's helped me out with coaching my daughter. I think as a coach, you expect for your kids to know everything, which is unfair to them because you're a coach and you might talk to them outside of practice and games and stuff like that. And so I think the biggest thing is, man, is you got to, like, when you're coaching them, they're just like everybody else.
But I think with that too is it's not just you expecting them to know everything. Everybody else does.
Yeah.
Because I know that was a big pressure with my oldest son, and he kind of shied away from basketball because of that. Because all the kids in the neighborhood would be like, "Man, you should know this. Your dad is a coach. You should." So I think they have a lot of pressure as well, just not from outside sources as well, not just from you.
Nah, I mean, you're right, man, and it's tough. You got to know when it's time to stop coaching them, if that makes sense. My daughter, man, I've developed her mentally differently, if that makes sense. Okay. So early on, like with my son, I probably was like micromanaging every mistake. Like, man, why'd you know what I mean? If that makes sense. But like, I wasn't doing it to everybody else. If that, you know what I mean? So like, I think that
Wait, you trying to overcompensate, you think?
You trying to overcompensate because it's like he's doing this, and it's like you want to make sure that he's proven he's supposed to be in this position, if that makes sense.
What I was getting.
Yeah. And so like when he does mess up, you want to you know what I mean? But like
show people you're not showing him papers.
But the thing is like, fast forward my daughter, when you're playing at a young age, it's about making mistakes and learning from them, if that makes sense, right? And so like that's the thing, and I understood that with my son too. After it was early on, like maybe 4th grade, 5th grade, like I understood, like, man, I gotta pull back a little bit, if that makes sense, because like it's unfair to him that I'm over coaching him and not doing the same to the team, if that makes sense. But in our eyes, we're doing it because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do, because everybody's watching, if that makes sense. And so I had to just the person I am, and I just had to come to myself and say, I know I'm fair, if that makes sense. And I ain't never once had a parent ever tell me with my son or my daughter that I'm showing them favoritism. I've never had somebody come to me and be like, man, you doing this, and my kid, because like I talk to my kids like I talk to everything. You gotta earn everything, if that makes sense. And so my daughter's a little different, man. She's a little different mentally. Like I think part of the player development, the thing that we don't talk about, is like you could be as skilled as you want, but like, are you confident to go do it, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
And so like with my daughter, man, I'm just kind of like early on, like I didn't care about winning, not just with her, but all the kids. Like I didn't care about winning. I cared more about the kids being in an opportunity in a situation to develop, if that makes sense, to get the reps of what they need to do. So like I never tried to get this kid and want to, to go win games. Like it was, for me, it was more about allowing them to develop. So when they get to this point, they'll be ready to go. And so like mentally, I don't have as much problems with her, man. Like honestly, she do a good job of ignoring me sometimes.
Hey, damn, so we gotta block you out. So you just mentioned something that made me just want to ask you real quick. You said when we was coaching and coming up, we didn't ever go out and recruit kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't like see a kid over there and we beat on him and be like, man, we need that kid on our team. So my question is, how you feel about? I know a lot of that going on right now, man. There's a lot of coaches that just want to recruit instead of build. Is that the new face of the sports for youth, or that's what?
I just think people think the most important thing at a young age is to win games, and it's not.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Right.
But like the way we grew up and brought up, like everything we got, we had to work for, if that makes sense. So like my perspective was more like, I tell Marcus this all the time, Marcus Warrior, when we started our 2025 team, we had the 24 with Kemar and MJ and Day, RJ, Q.
That team was stacked too.
Like they kind of set the standard for us. But when we started the 2025 group, Kai and DJ was playing up with the 24 group.
Yeah.
And so we brought them down. And like it was rough. Like we played Marcus, I think 2 or 3 times, beat us about 40, 50 points.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Play United, Clyde.
Yeah.
They was beating up on us, but like, man, we just had kids that worked so hard. We went from losing to them by 40 and 50 in one season to beating them by the end of the summer. And like we beat them, and we played them again the next week and beat them again. And I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? But it was all just about grinding, like getting in the gym. Like I was one of those coaches where like, if we can't break a press, like that's what we're gonna work on. Like we're gonna spend our time breaking, and then we play them again. We're not rebounding well. You know what I mean? So like I always took everything from little things from every game on how can I close the gap. That makes sense, and it just came to where, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, me throwing tournaments. Now that's the thing that we throwing tournaments. Now, that's the thing that I try to tell coaches, because like everybody be like, man, they cheated this and that. And so I just be like, man, they just might be better than you right now. Like it's okay. Like just keep grinding, keep working.
People these days, these coaches put so much emphasis on winning at second, third, fourth, fifth. You know, I was just like, man, who cares about that? I can't tell you what 5th grade team beat this other 5th grade team last week. I can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep telling these, man, quit. I hate when I see these guys that coach these youth organizations, man, and they post, oh, we're ranked 3rd, but you got a 5th grade team. I'm like, man, you know how many of these kids probably won't even be playing by the time they become 8th or 9th graders? Stop that.
And I just started the process over with my 5-year-old, bro, and we're not going traveling nowhere, bro. I mean, like for the next 2 or 3 years, man, we just gonna be grinding around here, putting in the work, man. And even like to get on that, man. I know you over Fadeaway Hoops. How they're doing tournaments, man. I know you see the inside of how stuff works now, man. And so from the inside looking in, how you see it with the sport? I mean, for the team.
I kind of feel like I'm cheating, man, because like I really truly get to see these kids early, like their development over the years. Yeah. Like when we talk about even kids that's in college right now, that's from here, like they all played in them, like, you know what I mean? All of them, you know what I mean? Came through, and they are the ones that, to me, help build Fadeaway Hoops to like the brand it is right now, you know what I mean? And, but you gotta learn how to keep them separate. Like I don't walk around the gym and talk to parents and talk to kids about their kid, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And honestly, man, I'm getting to the point with Fadeaway where like I'm really trying to have other people kind of do it, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to take my name off because like I don't want it to be a conflict of interest, from a business perspective or from what I do, you know, outside of that. And so like I always want people to trust. Like I've always, even these coaches now, like that's how I develop a lot of my relationships. It's just like, man, I don't talk to this coach and turn around and try to talk to your kid the next day. You know what I mean? Like that's just not me. Like most kids that's ever played for us, they've reached out to us.
Yeah, right.
And when they reach out to us, I reach out to the coach and say, hey, you know what I mean? Out of respect.
Well, yeah.
You know, because like, man, this all about and like, man, I'll be telling parents, like, especially like the coaches I've been a part of that coach younger ages, like, man, when the ball's tipped, like it's competitive, but after the game, it's all love. Like you don't never want to be in the situation to where this kid don't want to play for you when it matters in high school because of what happened in the 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's gonna remember.
Yeah, parents gonna remember.
Yeah.
Parents gonna remember. So
for sure.
Yeah. So like, to sort of close out the show, I like to do a rapid fire type thing. So just answer the questions as best you can. Try to quickly as you can. You know what I'm saying? Who's the best defensive player you ever coached? Boys or girls?
Probably Kai Brown and Anthony Lennon. And I would probably put Kemar. I'll probably put Kemar, but like Anthony and Kai was good defenders, but like they effort, you never question high motor. They get beat, they sprinting back, cutting you off. Like they never gave up. You know what I mean?
Best offensive player you ever coached?
Man, that's a tough one, bro. I say pure offensive player that I had a chance to coach for a long time, probably Tristan Hankins.
I was just about to. That's what I was thinking.
Tristan was a kid that I felt like even when we were young, he was like one of the best gifted scoring guards that we had. That makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
Yeah, Tristan could I remember we played Tristan in the 3rd grade or 4th grade or
Good.
I mean, he had us for like 20 something. I'm like,
Right, bro. I'm like, where that kid come from?
who was this kid? Yeah, who was this kid? But no, it's probably Tristan, man. Tristan can go get it with the best of them. So
you need a bucket, end of the game. Who you drawing it up for?
probably Tristan.
Tristan. If you had to take 5 guys, I'll give you 6. 5 guys to go win. Let's just say you're playing in the AAU tournament, big time AAU tournament. What 6 guys are you taking? And it can be from any age group, however you want to put it together. Give me starting 5 and a system that you coach.
Man, I don't want to miss nobody, man, because I felt like I had an opportunity to coach a lot of good kids, and not only good kids, but like kids that competed, coachable. You know,
You 6, coach.
man, it's hard, man. Let me think. I'm gonna put Tristan in there, Kai.
That's 2.
I'm gonna put Anthony in there.
3.
I'm gonna put Kemar in there. Kemar is one of my favorite kids I've ever coached. Kemar served many roles, did a lot of different things for you, man. Like he just, even if he didn't score, he helped you win games. You know what I mean?
Kemar. Coaching in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm probably put MJ in there too, man. MJ is from a young age, man. MJ just had it, like from first grade, kindergarten, 1st grade. Like MJ just always stood out.
Well, he's definitely one of the kids that you you knew at an early age, man, that he was gonna be one of the ones or whatever he did, man.
Yeah, and then the last person, man, I got a lot of kids I could choose from, but I'm gonna put my son in that category.
Okay.
Primarily, man, it's just I think for him, like one of the smartest kids I've ever coached, IQ wise. Like I've coached him to make the right basketball play.
Yeah.
And at fault, it could be looked at differently, but like he's the kid that I know the ball's in his hand. He's gonna make the right decision. That makes sense. You know what I mean? And so I'll probably go with those 6 kids. Man, I know I'm missing out.
You know, you only pick 6 though, cause we been around a long time, bro. You been around a long time, because a lot of kids, man. For sure.
So, last question.
And the other kid would be Day Day.
And see, that's who I was thinking you was going to put in there, solid.
Well, Day Day's in there, man. It's just, if you give me 7, he's in there. Like, I could take anybody out for Day Day. Like, 6. Yeah, I'll put Day Day for sure.
So,
I was hurt when he said he wasn't playing basketball. He was selling out football.
See.
Hey, man, I know you. He was playing on your team. Well, okay. Yeah.
Well, kind of, because he was with Trey Young. He was playing with Craig Roll. But, yeah. And Larry Fields, he played me that. Bro, you played me with that one. But not him playing with Red Rice, but just finishing on football. But so, last question. What was your best coaching adjustment? Why did you make it, and who was it against?
Man, that's a tough question, man. To be honest with you, yeah, that's a tough question. Cause like I feel like I've made a lot of good coaching adjustments.
Okay, give us your best one.
Just high school,
or maybe one that just stands out most to you. High school or AAU?
Yeah. Got me with that one, man. I gotta think a little bit on it. I feel like, man, the thing is, I feel like that a lot of situations, man, we were doing stuff that we wasn't supposed to do, if that makes sense. I feel like every game was most of the time these games were the game that probably stood out would probably be the 24s that I coach. AAU. And we were playing and it sounds corny, man, but like I'm real big on trying to like understanding kids' strengths and weaknesses, if that makes sense. And so we played a team called Vic for Kids, man, that had have you ever heard of them before? They had Michael Vick's nephew on there. Like, he was this big, you know what I'm talking about?
I remember Vic.
He was a big old like national, talk about middle school, coast to coast, this big old national like high range. I mean,
you probably 3-0 back in.
yeah. And I mean, it's just, for me, it was just more like the first time we played them, maybe the year before, they kind of killed us and he just kind of ate us up. But I put Kemar on him. But the biggest thing was just like, I figured out he really couldn't shoot the basketball at a high level. And so I don't really want to say that's an adjustment, but like, those are things that,
absolutely,
yes. But those are things that I feel like I'm good at, that I pay attention to, is what kids can and can't do and how do we want to play them. But like, I would probably say that game stood out the most because I think we beat them by like 15 or something like that, and had a horrible game. But I got so much stuff I could probably bring up, but that's probably, I think we was in Kentucky when it happened. We was traveling. We were one of those teams that was getting out all the time. So I'd probably put that up there with the best of them. So.
All right, well, man. Hey, once again, man, we appreciate you coming, your folk. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a busy man, and you got a newborn, man. Congratulations to the new addition to the family, man.
That's tough.
Yeah, so we damn so want to say thank you. And, man, we wish you all the best, man. Business, you know what I'm saying? Your personal business, you know what I'm saying? As far as this upcoming season at Deer Creek, man. And in life, man. And we signing out.
Yeah. I'm somewhere always grinding, putting God first. That master plan is manifested in the mind first. No taking days off, cause that ain't how my mind works. We out the mud, cause that's the way the grind works. Grind works, the grind works. Put in the time till the grind works. Grind works, 10,000 hours make the grind works. The grind work, we on the mission till the grind works. The grind works, well